Have you been trying, doing all you can for that person you love, and yet still it seems as though you're on a different page? They just don't get it. They just don't understand how much you love them. Well, here am I today to share some light with you on. Hello, and welcome back to Resilient Break Every Chain, where we break the chains of self-doubt, unbelief, uncertainty, and help us to live a more resilient and abundant life. Today on Resilient Break Every Chain, seeing it so close to Valentine and we are all looking to celebrate in one form or the other, I want to talk about love languages. Some of you might have heard about it already, and to some of you it may be all new. But just imagine you walking up, an English-speaking person like ourselves, walk up to someone who is speaking Spanish and begin to, or try to, have a conversation with them. Definitely no understanding will take place because we are speaking two different languages. Similarly, when it comes to love, Pastor Gary Chapman many years ago came up with a theory of 5 love languages. You see, the thing about it is we are all individuals and we have different personalities, and similarly we respond differently even to love. Our response will be different based on our upbringing, based on the environment we grew up in, how we think, how we believe, and just our inner urges and instinct may cause us to respond differently to different acts of love. So today I want to talk to you about the 5 love languages from the book The Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Now these languages are: 1. Words of affirmation. 2. Quality time. 3. Acts of service. 5. Receiving gifts. 4. Receiving gifts. And 5. Physical touch. So those are the lists, and now we're going to talk a bit about each one of them. Words of affirmation. Are you the type of person that you must say, I love you every day? You must be complimented. You must feel and know that this person loves you based on the things that they say to you on a daily basis. And falling short of doing that would make you feel unsettled and unloved. If you are that type of person, then words of affirmation is your way of receiving love. So in the absence of that, you must be able now to understand what is your partner's love language. Because if you are in a relationship and you don't understand each other's love language, someone might be trying all their best and giving of themselves, but they're not giving you words of affirmation, then you will end up feeling unloved. 2. Quality time. Some people, once you're in their space and you are important to them, they believe that you should give them undivided attention. Turn off the cell phone, turn off the TV, and just look them in the eye, pay attention. Some people say, look at me when I'm speaking to you. And they feel unappreciated if you cannot give them that level of attention. Now, in today's busy and hectic world, that might be a challenge. But to some of us, that quality time matters more than anything else. And it says, I love you. If you're the type of person, number 3, acts of service. No matter what you say to me, if you don't help out around the house, if you don't find ways to make my life easier, if you don't say, okay, let me go with you X, Y, and Z, and find ways to show me by the things you do that you love me, then I would not believe you. That's number 3. Receiving gifts. Now, sometimes we just say those people are gold diggers, or they just come in the relationship to get. But there are some people who genuinely only feel loved when you purchase them things, or you do acts of, showing. It might even be something of great monetary value. It might be to make a card. It might be to pick fresh flowers as you go on your way. It might be just to write a little note to them and give it to them. But by just taking the time, I normally say to myself, the gift that a person gave is not the most important thing to me. It might be a stone. They take that stone, they wash it, they scrub it, they wrap it up, and they give it to me. Every time I see that stone, it means to me, you considered me enough to take the time to clean it and prepare it and to present it to me. So that becomes a gift to some people. Giving to them, not necessarily things of great monetary value, but anything at all, says, I love you. And the fifth type of person is the person who requires physical touch. Not everybody is like that, surprisingly, and it has nothing to do with sex. In fact, it's apart from sex, because you can become sexually involved with someone, but they don't give you that attention with hugs and cuddles and the touches during the day, and you will still feel void. So this physical touch is about sharing intimacy by being physically connected to the person. The touch of the hair, the touch of the face, the touch of, just bouncing them as you pass by in the room. They need that physical attention and that physical connection to feel loved. So those are the 5 love languages. I will want you to listen to this again and decide which one of these languages applies to me. Am I the type of person who must have words of affirmation? Or am I the type of person who demands quality time? Or am I the type of person who I appreciate the little act of service every day by making sure and asking, how can I help you? What it is you need today? What can I do for you? Or is it the buying of the gifts? Or being there physically to connect and to touch? Now, a person who needs physical connection cannot be in a long-term relationship. It would just not work for them. So each of us have our language. The problem comes in when you have 2 people in a relationship and they don't understand each other's language. So then one ends up speaking Spanish and one ends up speaking English. So the flow in that relationship will always be difficult, because we tend to, all of us, treat each person as we would like to be treated. So we must understand, 1, our love language, and 2, our partner's love language. Because when we try to treat the other person based on our love language, we just might be missing the mark. Because if their love language is different to ours, they would not receive that love or that whatever you're trying to present to them in the same way that you would. And that's why we need to examine ourselves and to find out what our love language is and what our partner's love language is. And this is not only about intimate relationship. It's about the relationship with your family, your mother, your brothers and sisters, your kids, parents. It's important to understand each of your children may have a different love language. Understand which one of your children wants that quality time, and then you have to make time for them. Set an appointment with them. Do nothing else but give them that quality time. If one of your children is gifts, well, okay, you make sure that you celebrate them. Don't forget those moments where you can show them that you love them by buying them stuff. Even just showing up with something will mean a great deal to them. So our children, our mothers, everybody in our life have a love language. And it's important to discover what those love languages are. Now, let me help you just a little bit in a nutshell to discover what your love language might be. And it might help you to look back in your childhood. What made you feel happy the most? What triggered you and you felt that sense of excitement? That might be the same thing that would now create the same type of excitement. Is it that when mommy spent time with you and sat one-on-one with you? Or is it when they bought you gifts? Or is it when things were done for you? If that didn't work, you can also look at what triggers you. If you want to show someone love, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Some of us will say, I'll buy them something. That might be the way you want to be loved. Is it that? Because some people, you ever give someone a gift and they say, okay, thanks, and they put it down. And they didn't even venture to open it because it did not mean that great deal to them. As opposed to saying, come, let's watch a movie. And you turn off your cell phone and you cuddle up with them on the couch and you watch the movie, and that would mean so much more. So you think about what makes you, what is that thing that first response you will give if you want to show love. And that a lot of time is your love language. Also, it can be tied to the hurts that we feel. What disappoints you and hurts you in a relationship? If it is when your spouse, your partner leaves and didn't say I love you today, and you realize that peeves me, I'm upset by it. It means the opposite of that is because that is what I need. That is what I'm asking for to make my relationship beautiful and make me feel accepted and loved in my relationship. I trust that these pointers would be helpful to you. Feel free to drop me a line if you have any questions. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. So these 5 love languages, this is just in a little nutshell. If you need help in your relationship, remember you can call Resilient Empowerment Services at 707-8726 to have a one-on-one with me where we can delve into these things and help you build successful relationship towards living a resilient life. God bless you, love you. Thank you for sharing these few moments with me, and have a great and awesome day, evening, or whatever time you're listening to this video. Happy Valentine's to those of you who get to look at it before Valentine's. Have an awesome day and all the best.